This video is produced entirely at the Geberit North America training facility located in Des Plaines, Illinois. Welcome. This installation video will walk you through the proper installation of the Geberit concealed tank and carrier system for wall-hung toilets. Installing the Geberit system is simple and easy. We encourage you to keep your instruction manual with you during this presentation. The presentation itself is divided into three parts: the rough-in, installing the toilet, and installing the actuator plate. Let's begin. This installation assumes a vertical drain installation, but it can be any typical installation for wall-hung toilets. As with floor-mounted toilets, the drainage and venting for the wall-hung toilet should follow proper procedures in your area. The Geberit carrier is shipped to you complete, pre-assembled, and ready for installation. Be sure to put the bowl installation kit, which includes the waste fitting, in a safe place for later use. It contains the parts you will need for installing the toilet after the wall is complete. For demonstration purposes, the DWV waste pipe and the water supply shutoff valve, which are supplied with the carrier, have already been roughed in. An 8 o'clock orientation is critical on the shutoff valve. The frame wall should have 2-inch by 6-inch stud construction for the plumbing walls. The space between the studs should be 19 3/4 inches. You should determine in advance the homeowner's preferred toilet seat height. The Geberit carrier accommodates bowl height adjustments between 15 and 19 inches with just 2 screws. One screw is at the bottom right of the carrier. The other is at the bottom left. Keep in mind the type of floor that will be installed, as this will also play a factor in calculating the final bowl height. Mount the carrier between the studs. The drain should be either straight down, off to the right, or off to the left, depending on the configuration. Mark where you'll drill the pilot holes for the carrier on the vertical studs and on the floor stud. Remove the carrier and drill the 4 pilot holes for the carrier. 4 lag screws will be used to mount the carrier. Place the carrier back onto the studs. The carrier should be flush with the studs for maximum support. Secure the carrier to the vertical and floor studs with lag screws into the pilot holes. Geberit offers many kinds of configurations to accommodate virtually any installation requirement, including cast iron elbows. Consult your Geberit distributor for more information. Piece the pipe bracket into the frame by inserting into the holes and snapping into the frame. It can only snap in one way. Listen for the click that assures proper mounting position. This bracket will hold the discharge pipe, which has a channel on the bottom designed to fit snugly with the bracket. You may need to cut the discharge pipe prior to installation. Connect the supplied discharge pipe to the no-hub coupling and then onto the drain waste vent, or DWV. Refer to local building codes for additional information on these connections. The top of the pipe bracket secures the installation by snapping into place. Tighten the 2 screws on the supplied no-hub coupling with a nut driver. Insert the threaded rods into the carrier. These rods will hold the toilet in place. It's not necessary to know the exact length of the rods at this point. Add the protective sleeves to the rods to protect them while the wall is finished. Now, you will protect the carrier while finishing the wall. Use the supplied protection plugs to cover the drain and water supply openings. The tank is protected in 2 ways, with a splash guard and a mud guard. Install the mud guard by snapping it into place. The mud guard covers the splash guard, which is already installed. The Geberit system is now ready for the wall to be finished. A Geberit mobile display is used to represent a finished wall. The next steps demonstrate installing the toilet on the Geberit carrier. Begin your toilet installation by removing the wall protection, including the plastic sleeves on the toilet rods. Take the waste fitting from the toilet installation kit provided with the carrier. Slide the rubber seal over the top. This rubber seal serves the same purpose as a wax ring used on a conventional toilet installation, but the rubber seal is much cleaner. Next, find the inlet pipe, which supplies the water to the toilet. Install the ribbed gasket on the end of the pipe with the raised line. Open the provided lubricant packet and apply lubricant to the lip seals on the carrier inlet pipe and the installation discharge pipe. Next, insert the discharge pipe into the carrier as far as it will go, and then insert the water inlet pipe. Mark the location where both pipes meet the wall. Now apply lubricant to the inner diameter of the inlet opening and then to the outside of the waste discharge on the toilet. Take the water inlet from the carrier and insert it into the toilet. Remove the waste fitting from the carrier and slide it onto the toilet. Make another series of marks where the outside of the toilet meets the pipes that you just inserted. Use a straight edge and a marker. Mark both the inlet and the waste fitting pipes where they meet the toilet. You now have pipes with 2 marks on them. Measure the distance between these marks on the pipes. Keeping this measurement, move your ruler to the outside end of the pipe, then add 1/8 inch to the overall measurement. Make a mark on the pipe. This is where you'll cut the pipe for your finished installation. Do this on both the waste fitting pipe and the water inlet pipe. Cut both pipes and clean the cuts with a file at a 45-degree angle. Insert the cut pipes back into the carrier. Install the optional sound guard, cut to size if appropriate. The sound guard reduces the sound transmission of the flush and helps protect the wall. Measure the thickness of the toilet or consult the manufacturer's instructions. Adjust the rods to the appropriate length, which is determined by adding 7/8 of an inch to 1 inch to the mounting flange thickness of the toilet. Remember that decorative caps will cover the ends of the rods. After you've lubricated the seals on the drain pipe to help the toilet slide on and applied adhesive or silicone caulking to the backside of the toilet, attach the toilet to the wall. Do this by mounting the toilet on the threaded rods. While holding the toilet in place, put a leveling washer, a metal washer, and a hex nut onto each toilet rod. Use a level to make sure the toilet is balanced. If necessary, rotate the leveling washer to level the toilet. Tighten the nuts securely and snap the decorative caps onto the nuts. Caulk the gap around the toilet with waterproof sealant. Congratulations, you're ready to finish the job. Cut the mudguard flush to the finished wall. Score the 4 corners with a utility knife and snap off the 4 sides. Remove the splash guard from the tank, but keep it handy. Before connecting the water supply, flush the supply line using a cup or one of the protective plugs. Connect the water supply to the shutoff. Be sure to hand tighten only, do not use a wrench. Take the splash guard and snap it back into place. Information on servicing the fill valve is printed on the splash guard. Open the supply stop. Now you're ready to install the actuator. Your Geberit actuator is supplied with a complete actuator assembly, including mounting hardware such as lock pins and control rods. Take the actuator frame and the 2 lock pins and lock the frame onto the tank by inserting the lock pins and then rotating clockwise. Once you rotate the pin, push the blue lever to lock the frame in place. Now, install the control rods. Both rods will be installed and will most likely have to be broken off to size. Insert the rod into the rocker bracket, which is inside the tank, until the bottom of the rod meets the frame. At that point, simply turn it clockwise until you hear a click. Repeat this procedure with the other rod. There is a spring on the bottom of the frame which holds the finished actuator plate. Place the finished plate onto the frame. The large button is for the full flush, the smaller button for the low flush. Congratulations! You've installed the Geberit Concealed Tank and Carrier System with a wall-hung toilet. The system is now ready for years of trouble-free operation.